Hey guys, it's Erin. How's it going? I just want to come on here for a short video and just to prove that I want to make predictions about myself and my life, because my life has been pretty much like the same for a long time, where I've been raising my children on my own. I haven't had a successful relationship where I've like lived with somebody or married somebody since like 14 years. I'm not even I don't even have a boyfriend right now, but I have my twin flame, that he is trying to work on himself. Every time we come together, I have to like separate myself from him again, because I just want to make sure that he's the person for me. I know he is, but he needs to act like the person that I'm expecting him to be. The one, I mean, I know he's my twin flame because of this whole experience and this whole like spiritual journey, and like God showed me that this is my person through tarot and everything, just synchronicities, like everything. There's like no doubt in my mind. But it's a tricky journey because you have to listen to your intuition and your heart. So when he finally comes around and we get together, something else happens, and it's like, it's just so like defeating feeling. Like it's like draining. It's sad. It's like, okay, well, I guess this isn't gonna work right now. So, you know, and the thing is like, that's what the journey is all about. It's about like working through your issues so you can be together. And it's not like we're talking to each other, working out our issues. It's like intuitively something happens, and you just have to like, you're hurt, your feelings are hurt or whatever, and so you have to just leave the situation. But in my heart, I know that we're supposed to be together. So it's like unconditional love. So it's like, if like the closest thing, or the only thing that I know, well, unconditional love, you can think of it as like the relationship you have with your children or your mom or whatever, or your whoever raised you, or, you know, a grandparent or whoever, like maybe a sibling. So you have to think of it in those terms. So even though like something happens where you're not going to accept the relationship, like, okay, let's put that unconditional love like you have for your child or whatever onto a significant other. You love that person, but if they do something, or they continue to do something that you have your boundaries in place. So if they don't step up and be the person that you need them to be, then you're going to have to take a break from that and just like, you might have to move on to somebody else, or you might have to hold space and like let them evolve and change if they want to do that. You don't even know if they're going to do that. You don't know what is going to happen. So you just have to like release them. They're still in your heart. You still love them. You still have love for them. But you have to just go within and be like, okay, God has my back. God knows what's best for me and knows what's on my path. Yes, he told me that this is my person. This is my twin flame. We're supposed to be together. We are one soul. So we are destined and fated to be together, me and him. I know this. And I told him this. So it's very weird. It's because we're living in this day and age where we have this technology like Google or whatever, and we can search things and we can find out information about things. 12:12 on the clock. And I found all this information out. So it's almost like it's this weird dynamic and situation that we're both in. It's like I had all this information, so I felt like he's my friend, you know? Like I'm like, oh my God, do you know, like we're twin flame. Like I'm texting, right? Like, or, you know, when we would meet up or whatever, I would be like, yeah, like I was just like not understanding what was happening with us. So I was curious and I was trying to find out information. That's what this spiritual journey does to you. So you're trying to go within and you're trying to just like relax and ease your mind and like learn. And so, like, I've always had that curiosity, like, and trying to learn and study and grow as a person. And so you're going within and you're like, you're not being emotional about things. You're being more logical about them. So it's like you feel a feeling or you know something and then you try to research that instead of like, you know, your past, you know, like, okay, like a lot of the time you have repeating cycles. So, you know, you've been in this situation before where you've been in a relationship and you didn't understand what was happening. And the reaction that you had was not a good reaction. You were like emotional and like, you know, expressing all this emotion to this other person. And then they were just like, and you felt like stupid afterwards. Like, okay, well, that wasn't a good reaction to have to that situation. Like, I should have done something different, right? So if that kept happening, the next time it would happen with a new person, you'd be like, okay, this has happened to me before where I got confused and I don't understand what's happening here in this situation. So instead of reacting the way that I used to react, I'm going to do something different and I'm going to go within and I'm going to figure out like, what is this? Like, why does this keep reoccurring? And you're going to go into a research phase and you're going to, you know, study like, okay, you're just going to start like figuring stuff out by like, you know, typing into the Google search, like, like relationship tips, or that's it. It starts the ball rolling. So you just start the process and then it keeps building up and building up, and you're studying more and more and more, and then you're getting into all this, it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're just on this like mode of like growing and growth and trying to improve yourself. And so that's how my whole spiritual journey started, and my evolution into this awakening and getting closer to God, when that wasn't my intention to begin with. It was just like, it's just like how it happened. And it was like a natural, organic process. And now that I'm enlightened and awakened, when I first found the soulmate, I was researching soulmates, because I was like, didn't understand, like, why do we keep coming back to each other? Why do we keep like, why do we still love each other? Why do we still feel so connected when we're not even together? We're like far apart from each other. We barely ever see each other. And like, it was just like this weird thing. And I knew that I like knew him, that he was like me, kind of like, and that we were feeling the same thing. And we both didn't understand why this was all happening. And it was all a disaster, chaos, mess. And it was like, I was trying to figure things out and not emotionally react, or like, because I couldn't even talk to him. We were separated for a time. And so it was like, that was my healing process, was to figure things out. And so when we came back together, I was like, yeah, like, I was thinking, like, maybe we're like soulmates. Like, maybe that's why all of this happened. And then there's another thing called twin flames, but I don't know if I like really believe in that, because that's like really like too much. That's like, it's like your one soul that got like separated, and then like, it seems like too fantasy world type stuff. And that's not, this is before I was like awakened. When we first came back together after this traumatic like experience of like, I'll get into that in another video, but so it was just like a thought. And then once I had mentioned it to him and kind of dismissed it myself, we were having another issue, and where we were like separated again, like immediately. It's always like immediately. And like, we come back together for like, and talk for like a couple hours or whatever, and then we're just like separated again. And it's like because something happens where we get, it's hard to, I'll explain it another time, but so I just started to like research that more, and like, because I guess I just briefly skimmed over it, like what the concept was on, like, you know, just the definition of it, and I was like, okay, that's like too much. But then once I started really looking into it and researching twin flames, immediately I was like, oh my God, this is what it is. And it was just like a light bulb went off in my head, and it was just like, it made perfect sense. And just like, as I was reading it, was like, oh my God, it was like definition, like textbook. And I was like, oh my God. And then you still like don't really believe it. And so it's just like over time, like more and more and more information and more like, and then you're learning about like synchronicities and like angel numbers and like, because you're starting to believe in it. So it's like a spiraling, it's like a building effect, like a snowball effect. And you're like, okay, well, if I believe in this, then I would believe in this. And it was just like boom, boom, boom. Like it was like literally like expanding my mind, like out of control. And then I had it was like literally in 2 weeks, I was obsessed with studying and researching about all this stuff, and it was like mind-blowing. It was like I had just invented a cure for cancer. That's like how this was like for me. I was like, oh my God, like there's a God. Like, and then I had a spiritual awakening, and I could feel God's presence like enter my body and like speak to me, like, and learn that he's been speaking to me through my intuition this entire time, and like that's how it all works. And like it's not like a man's voice, like I'm God and you need to do this. Like that's what I felt like God's voice would sound like, or something from like the world's experience or something. I don't know. I never really looked into it. But I thought like you would hear God's voice, like a man's voice, like speaking like out of nowhere, like a spirit, like a ghost or something. Like that's how I thought God would speak to people. But no, it's your intuition, it's your own voice, it's like a thought. I didn't even know that. I don't even know if other people know that. Like that's how new, and I'm researching and trying to figure all this stuff out as much as I can. And it's been like a crazy process. But I just know that I'm predicting, and I'm just like so sure about everything. Like the more and more this is going, it's just like I'm positive about everything. Like positive that it will unfold the way that I know it will. I've learned of my spiritual gifts. I've learned about manifestation. I've learned that it all works. And so this channel is like a trust of faith, of my faith and my belief in my faith. And it's all going to unfold the way that I know it's going to. And so I wanted to express that with you guys and show you that this is the beginning. And I've said this in previous videos, because I tried to start this at the very beginning of when I was really like feeling this out, not in the stage that I am now, where I'm just like so like sure of this. And it's just like crazy because none of it's happened, but it's unfolding. That's the thing. I can see it. I know it's unfolding. It's like clear as day to me. There could be no other way. But it takes me, and it takes my positivity and my continued movement and my action forward and my listening to my intuition. It takes a lot of inner strength and obeying your intuition, obeying God, and having that belief in yourself and in God that's guiding you. So I'll expand more on this all later, but I just wanted to make predictions about me having this amazing manifestation of a life that's like just overwhelming with the love of my life, my twin flame, a beautiful bonded family together with our kids, like his kids and my kids, and a blended family, and having everything work out for us where we're respected and loved by others, and we are helping the planet evolve, and we're making a difference in this world. We are elevating humanity, and we're creating this business, this clothing line, this merchandise that is going to spread the word, to brand this and spread the word of this movement, to enlighten people and humanity to love one another and to be kind and good and create positive change and manifest a better world for future generations, to save our planet, save human beings from destroying each other, to really manifest a world that is our ideal world, not what it is today, but to open your minds and really believe that we can envision a better world together. And we can really manifest that together if we all believe in the same thing. Like, our united prayer will be answered by God, Spirit. And God will put that into our hearts and into our intuition of what we want as a collective whole. And so I'm like the mediator and the vessel that God is speaking through to create this better world. And it takes all of us to dream that together. I have ideas. I have God's voice within me speaking to me and showing me the way that this is going to happen. And so I just need all of you to trust and believe and join the movement. Subscribe to the channel, buy the merchandise, support this cause, keep listening to all of these messages, share them to everybody that you know, and get this going, get it viral, put your comments down there. Do anything and everything you can to support the humanity and to make this world a better place. This is the channel to do that. Okay, peace, love, and light. Love you guys.